Hello everyone and welcome to BNWYDSE episode 6. I'm Tim, with me Troy.
Is it episode 6? I can't remember.
It is. I looked it up before we did this. Joseph.
Hey.
And we have a few special guests with us today. If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
I'm John Soares. I played Ronnie Cordova in Sockbaby, and I'm the writer and director of The Danger Element.
I'm Justin Spurlock. I am also in the Sockbabies.
Are you the Sockbaby?
I was the voice of Sockbaby in several of the episodes.
Whoa.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Intrino! I've learned something already.
Wow. I've learned one more thing than I usually learn when we do these.
Yeah, so we're Westhavenbrook Productions.
Yeah, that probably should have been number 1.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm good at this.
Yeah.
And we also have...
I'm Cassie Meter. I'm a female.
Whoa! Oh my god!
I'm one small part of Westhavenbrook.
Yeah. Oh, and
Which
stars in
part?
The Danger Element.
Oh, and I'm in the Danger Element thing too.
And you're a filmmaker and an artist who's more popular than I am.
That's just because I'm a female, like I just
That's right.
That's your marketable attribute.
A girl.
A girl
She works
who's on the internet.
and she's a girl. Automatic star.
On a resume, it just says "girl" in giant. So we're in Nashville right now.
Ooh.
Or are we in Nashville?
Yeah,
Does
we're
this
doing the
count as
podcast
Nashville?
on the road.
Yeah, we brought our tour bus over here. It's a pretty sweet tour bus.
Our tour Mazda.
Don't ruin it. Gosh.
Well, that doesn't sound impressive at all.
Are we
Like
actually
a Mazda bus, maybe.
Are we
Does Mazda
actually
make
in
buses?
Are we actually in Nashville right now?
Yeah, we are.
The
Okay.
address says Nashville.
Or are we like suburbs or something? Anyway, we're somewhere in Nashville. I don't know where.
The South End.
Tennessee is weird. But,
No weirder than where we just came from.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's actually probably better.
I'm doing class credit.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah. I'm the intern for Westhavenbrook.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds hard.
Hey, we had a full day today.
Yeah, we did.
Joseph has been so much help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been a pretty sweet intern.
You should just, when you have to go back to your internship, like professor or whatever, just give them this podcast.
At the
Like,
end
look,
of
they said I was
semester,
good.
Listen.
They said I was good.
My supervisor said I was a good intern.
Yeah.
Give
So
me
that's
the grade.
give me all the credits. Like, did you do
That's all I
anything?
needed.
It
Did you
doesn't
do
matter.
anything? Do you have record of doing stuff? No, they just said
Hey,
I was
I
good.
don't focus on like the concrete, okay? I'm more interested. I'm an idea guy, okay? And the idea is that I was a good intern.
You're not interested in hours. You're not a numbers guy. You don't
do
need
paperwork.
figures on a spreadsheet to prove that you did a good job.
Yeah.
Right. I just need a podcast.
Just look at the results. These are the results.
Well, I mean, my internship was with a company that was about to be formed called THAC LLC.
For a second, I was like, "What are you talking about?" I don't remember when you were doing an internship, but I forgot it was with me.
Yes, Troy was, on paper, Troy was my supervisor, and I did a very good job in that class, and my supervisor gave me high ratings because you had to fill out that form, and you were just like, whatever.
Oh yeah, I just put like a big X down all the fives. Like, yeah, it was fine,
perfect.
whatever.
The model intern.
Yep.
Yeah, except for punctuality, I put like 0 on there. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You were like
can't.
3 months late.
Sorry.
It did take you a long time to bring us that pizza.
And then you have the right toppings
I
on
will
it.
have to deduct a couple of points.
I'm gonna have to dock your pay for that pizza. It was the worst.
So, do we have any other THAC news that we need to cover other than our Nashville trip?
I mean, we're here for
and
fact-related things.
Yeah. How specific do we want to get on what we're actually working on?
It's a thing, and maybe more than one thing.
Uh-huh.
Maybe 3 things counting this podcast. It
That's
could be-
exciting.
It could be anything. It's not Marble Hornets, by the way. Yeah, it's not that.
Click.
And then
guess
everyone stops.
Everyone stops.
I guess in like real quick Marble Hornets news, like around the time that this is posted, we will be in the process of shooting another one.
Let's see. Today's Saturday. Yeah.
And it will be posted
Yeah.
whatever day we post these.
Yeah. Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
No, Tuesday is one.
No,
I don't know. Whatever.
Tuesdays. It's
It's
always
a
been Tuesday.
It's a podcast about us trying to remember when we
We've only
post a
been
podcast.
We've only been doing this like 3 months.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But we haven't been doing it very well any of those months, so...
No, that's true. No, it's the worst. It was a terrible idea.
But
yeah.
now we don't have any choice. So, now that we're here, so why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what has brought you guys to Nashville? Because, well, let's tell us a little bit about Westhavenbrook first. The things that you guys have worked on. Not us specifically, but the us that are in that microphone.
The virtual online audience?
Yeah.
Westhavenbrook's been around since 2001.
Yes, there's about.
And we've been making films ever since then.
For the internet?
No. We were around before.
Don't care.
They didn't have... There was no internet.
Oh yeah, there
in
wasn't.
2001.
There wasn't YouTube in 2001.
There was no like video stuff going on the internet when we started.
Everything was download. Like if you had your own website and you hosted compressed video files, it would take you 5 hours to download something.
Yeah, like a 56K or whatever.
Yeah, so people had like their own libraries of internet videos that they downloaded.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's how it used to work.
Even Sockbaby was a pre-YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've watched those QuickTime files a few times.
Yeah, I
personally,
remember.
so.
Because on the way up here, I was talking to Tim about it. I was like, I remember seeing Sockbaby not on YouTube. It was on some other site. It might have been like.
It's probably E-Bombs World.
I was going
to
to say it was probably E-Bombs World.
And they probably
or something.
slapped their watermark
I thought you
on
said
it.
something like board.com.
It was like, yeah, it was one of those.
It could have been anywhere
things.
because it was allowed to be
Yeah, you could
hosted
download
anywhere.
it.
Yeah. And we had on sockbaby.com. There were mirrored,
Okay,
other
so
sites.
that was okay with you guys if
Yeah.
it was hosted on other places. Okay.
And it was also on channel101.com for people who know what that is. That was where it debuted, was through Channel 101.
What is that?
It's internet.
Do you know who Dan Harmon and Rob Schraub are?
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
put that in there.
Yeah, you gotta correct my grammar.
My grandma.
Dan Harmon's the guy that created the show Community.
That's okay. Yeah,
And
I
Rob
knew I'd
Rob
recognize
Schraub is a director on Sarah Silverman program, and he's directed Community, I guess. Right?
Yeah, and the two of them developed Sarah
it.
Silverman.
Is Channel 101 the one where you make pilots for shows?
5-minute pilots.
That's okay. Yeah.
And then you vote. The audience at the screenings votes for
Right.
what will be returning the next month.
So
Pilot contest.
Cool.
we did 2 episodes at Channel 101 that it was voted back once and it was canceled the second time.
Was that Sockbaby? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sockbaby 2 got canceled, but we had already had this big plan for making Sockbaby 3.
hubris.
So we just went ahead and did it anyways and premiered it at Comic-Con that year.
How could anyone watch Sockbaby 1 and 2 and be like, I don't want any more of this?
That's good enough.
What kind of
Phil.
what kind of moron would say they don't want any more of that?
No, well, it was like when it got canceled, we were like, what? Because we thought the second one was so much better than the first one at the time. We're like, But there was these comments that we had got that were like, we wanted to see them go somewhere and do something different, and it was just more fighting, and we're like, well, we understand that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Channel 101 has like, I don't know if discerning is the right word, but the audience knows, even if they like something, they don't base it on that. They'll actually.
I can't just like this thing.
Yeah, it's like I really liked it and it was amazing and it blew my mind, but it really needs. It's like the bar needs to be higher, even though most of the stuff.
Are these just regular people in the audience, or is it
anybody
like
that
It's a lot of industry people. Though.
Oh, okay. So like they quote unquote know what they're talking about.
The first time I went, I was sitting like it was like 2 people over was Drew Carey and then there was like what's that girl's name?
Shannon Elizabeth.
Shannon Elizabeth was there.
Yeah.
And the show that we replaced had Jack Black in it. Like when we got voted in, we took the place of a show that Jack Black was in.
Was that Heat Vision? And...
No, it was a Computer Man.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It's Dan
really funny.
Harmon creates this computer guy by accident, and it's just Jack Black in his underwear with a Mac computer monitor head and like a keyboard on a string hanging off his chest.
Wait, so Dan Harmon made a show for his thing, and it didn't.
Well, it went for like how many episodes?
Like 5 or 6 episodes.
Oh, this wasn't like the first round that it got.
No, we came in and they got canceled and we took their place.
Oh, okay.
Took the world by storm.
And then it was like they voted us back one time and we did a second episode, but we were voted out and then we were replaced by a show that starred Drew Carey, or it was Drew Carey, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't think that one lasted. It's like really
hyper competitive.
So it's not like one long season thing. It's not like you start with this many and then you'll end with the one winner.
It's
just
all dependent
keeps
on
going.
if you're voted back. And
Okay.
like some shows, like the longest running show had like 19 episodes or something. So that means it was like 19 consecutive months of
Right.
being voted back.
And they only have like you only get a month to make your next episode.
Yeah.
So
Was there any kind of I guess like competitiveness to it? Like, was there anything we win, or was it just more screen time?
No,
that you got?
it's just a prestige and being
Exposure.
back.
And it
Street
was
cred contest.
Yeah.
you were really like.
You get to say you were better than Jack Black.
Well, it was actually like if you were doing Channel 101, you were basically inside like the comedy scene in Los Angeles, which I don't think that I fit into very well.
I can't imagine that we would either. We're just too edgy. not
Have too many white hot opinions.
Yeah.
I came back years later with a Danger Element episode. I edited the first episode down to 5 minutes, and they loved it, but it was immediately like voted out. It's just not. It's mostly comedy at Channel 101. So
Yeah, I can see how that would be. So Dan Harmon made Community is doing it.
So what you're saying is they were really excited about what you were doing, but they didn't go.
yeah,
for it.
a lot of people loved like when the Danger Element episode. They loved it, but it was like really out of place. And when you watched at the screening, it was like.
That's
What is
kind of
this?
how I felt at the Black Warrior Film Festival when it was like all these documentaries and stuff. And
Oh,
then,
yeah, that
and then
one-
Troy shaves his face.
Yeah, that one film festival we were in, which we were going to be again this year.
With a lot
Almost
of films in
everything
it.
we've done.
Yeah, it's done on campus by the the film department of the college that we went to. But yeah, last year we submitted Troy shaves his face, and
just on a whim.
Yeah, you just submitted it. It's just
Yeah.
like I went over to your place one day. He was like, "Oh, I submitted it to that thing just because I felt like it."
Yeah.
And then so we're sitting there, and it's all these really good documentaries that these students have made.
Yeah.
And just sort of like, oh, there's this one town that only has like one doctor that travels to all these houses.
Yeah.
And
Really interesting
like
documentaries.
He's talking
Yeah,
about like
it's like
women breaking through the
Alabama legal system or
Yeah.
something.
yeah,
that.
things like that. And then Troy shaves his face, and then just icing on the cake, they announce Troy winning best performance.
Oh my god.
So I have a plaque now.
On the plus
Yeah.
side, it wasn't exactly a very
Performance
deep
heavy.
a deep race because there was only like one other narrative thing.
Well,
There were like two narrative things or something like that. I don't know.
yeah.
It was mainly documentaries though.
Yeah, it was a lot of documentaries, because
And they were
I guess,
good. Like,
yeah, they were good. It's like
just really out of place.
I guess a lot of the people at UA are like, my friends aren't great actors. I should just do a documentary instead. Which
I don't know. Documentaries seem a lot harder to me. I've
Well,
never
I'm
made
sure
a documentary before.
I'm sure they're
it seems like
harder.
it would be harder.
they're harder in different ways, I guess. Whereas if you do narrative stuff, you have to get a performance out of someone. If you do a documentary thing, you got to get the truth out of someone or something, and you have to build a story around that. And I've never made one. That's what I'm
It's just
saying.
a whole different animal. I tell
Yep.
you what.
But yeah, this year, so they told us that we should submit more THAC stuff, so we did.
We submitted, or
and
Tim submitted.
they took like all of it. They took like 11 of them.
Wow.
Granted, a bunch of them are only like 30 seconds long, but still, it's just the principle of the thing. They're going to be fed up with us this year.
Yeah.
I hope they have us do another master class.
Oh yeah, that was the one we did a master class in.
And
too.
we started the entire thing off saying we're not masters.
We're not masters of things. I'm not. Yeah, it's like I'm barely old enough to vote. Come on. Well, I guess I can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm almost 26. I'm pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been around the block a few times.
Yeah, I've seen some things. Anyway, enough about us. So if you didn't know, Westhavenbrook makes these two series. We're just talking about them. We're kind of talking about them out of order now, but they made a series, Sockbaby,
Which is what we've been referring to.
which is
over
what we've
and
been
over.
referring to. Sockbaby. It came out in 2004.
Four.
Okay, and it was kind of.
So it used to be relevant.
Yeah.
I would say it was one of the first.
We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Not to
We're
bring out.
grandpas on the internet already.
Not to bring out annoying internet words, but I would say they were one of the first viral videos, maybe.
Yeah.
That I can remember at least.
Way to go! You started the plague.
You started
Well,
everything.
there were others. There were albino black sheep, like GIF videos and stuff, and there
Look at this guy get hit in the balls.
Well, I guess before viral videos, you had America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah.
Someone said something about that the other day. It blew my mind. They were like, it doesn't have any place anymore because YouTube exists.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like no one watches America's Funniest Home Videos anymore. Is it even on anymore?
Yeah, it is. They produce new episodes.
Yeah.
It's on
but
the
it
Family
still looks like it's in the 90s. Like that studio still.
Well, don't they
looks like
still
it's
just
on
have like a giant backlog of old videotapes that they just keep
They
going
do. They
through?
do
Yeah.
show old VHS tapes still.
Yeah.
Is it still that same guy from Hollywood Squares that does it?
I don't think so. I think
Who
it's
hosts
okay.
it?
I don't think so.
Is it? I'm getting a
I can't
nod
remember.
saying it is.
Oh, wow.
Look it up.
From the producer.
Yeah. From our producer in the control room.
On the floor.
On the floor over there. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, Sockbaby. So it was like something that I remember watching it on, I think, eBum's World, like you said, or
One of
Board.com
those, yeah.
or something, and thinking, I don't know, this is the kind of thing I want to make at some point. Like, these guys can make this really entertaining thing literally in their front yard. Like, that's not an exaggeration. In a cul-de-sac, right?
Or someone's
And-
front yard. I'm not sure whose it was.
it
Was
was-
your front yard? Okay.
Okay.
My mom's house.
She has a nice house.
Yeah. It's like, if they can do it, I can do it, or something.
And then you made a video in your like tool shed.
Wait, what?
The welcome to when you were doing the tour of the studio.
Oh yeah, no, that
That's
wasn't
all
a
it.
tool shed. That was in my parents' basement.
Yeah.
When
That's such
I
an inspiring story.
Yeah. You inspire us.
yeah, because I used to think that I still think that handmade special effects and everything are really fun and charming and stuff, and that it's like this looks like it was made out of cardboard, so it's like I could do that. And then I found out that another show I used to watch called Robot Bastard
Oh yeah.
was you have a connection to too somehow, right? Or
Well, Rob Schraub, the other guy.
okay, that's the same guy.
The guy
Channel
that,
101 now.
yeah, Dan Harmon and Rob Schraub created Channel 101.
Okay, because I remember.
And Rob Schraub's actually in Sockbaby 4.
Yep.
He's the guy that gets the torch through him.
He's all,
Yeah.
he's all, hey guys, you need any help? And then Ryan Cordova throws a torch through him. He's all, torch!
Oh yeah. Okay.
And Doug TenNapel, who writes this and directs the Sock Babies, he's one of the space zombies on Robot Bastard. The guy who comes in with like the Gatling gun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I remember
Doug TenNapel wrapped in plastic.
it was there's this website that I saw that on. I think it was called screenblast.com or something. It was It was run by Macromedia, I think, at the time when Macromedia was around.
Man.
Internet history lesson. Here it comes. They had a bunch of shows on there that I watched constantly. They had Robot Bastard, which I think was only like 4 episodes long or something. Or
It was one.
Or was it
short
one
film.
long?
It was
Okay.
one long shot, like 18 minutes short.
Yeah.
film.
They had that. They had this thing called Joe Paradise that I really liked. And I think that's where Happy Tree Friends started? I'm not sure.
I don't remember where they started, but because I mean it was just a Flash cartoon.
Yeah. I think it was... No, whatever. That was Mondo. Mondo Media is where Happy Tree Friends started. Anyway, that's not important. But I remember...
about that anymore.
Yeah, I remember Robot Bastard had a commentary version of it, where I'm guessing Rob... What's his last name?
Rob Schraub.
Schraub, not Schwab, like the one.
Schwab.
Okay, Schraub.
That's right.
Okay, I'm guessing it was him doing the commentary, and he was talking about. I remember the only thing I remember him saying was the very beginning with the spaceship flying with the spinning top. He was like, "Yeah, that was one of those little sucker things that spun around. I just put a top on that and made it a spaceship and flew it." And I was like, "I can do this! I can do this! This is easy."
That was the model when we started working with Doug TenNapel on Sockbaby. That was the model. Is like we can make all these outrageous props out of cardboard. If you like make it cartoony enough, people will just kind of accept it's metal and stuff. The Sharky costume was like our first attempt, and then I made that the Burger's glove, just with a gardening glove, and I glued pieces of cardboard on it and just sculpted them into the shapes,
It's awesome.
It took forever, but I wanted it to look like it was made out of metal. But
Yeah.
we basically learned that by watching Robot Bastard.
I believe it because everything in that looked. It almost looked like it took place on Robot Bastard. Looked like it took place on the set of Mystery Science Theater 3000 because like Mystery Science Theater 3000 in the spaceship segments, it looks like they just took stuff and stuck it to the wall.
Yeah,
and painted over it, so it looks like a spaceship. It's kind of like that.
Like they had, Rob had rented a space and like just made these sets out of like one long set out of like plywood, and it was just like one location and just shot from different angles.
See, we can do this. Let's make a space opera like that.
Okay.
Just starring the three of us.
Let's do it.
Here's a tangent. You just brought up Mystery Science Theater 3000. Mike Nelson from Mystery Science Theater is the head of story on the show that we're editing for DreamWorks right now.
Really?
Yeah. So he was at
We
the
just met him
studio
in person last week.
Small world.
Can you say the show you're working on, or would you have to keep that hush hush?
VeggieTales in the house.
Okay.
All right.
No, they did a press release saying that it's coming out. We can't talk about it.
Right.
Yeah. We can say we're working with Doug TenNapel and stuff like that.
Doug TenNapel being the guy that made.
And then you have met Mike Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or have you met him?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm jealous.
We had an awkward conversation in
God.
front of where we won't go into.
That will be after the mic is turned off.
See, I don't really remember seeing much of the older VeggieTales show, but now that I know that it's like you guys are working on it, Doug TenNapel's working on it, and Mike Nelson's working on it, it's like I kind of you piqued my interest now. So
Another guy who's working on it. Do you know Axe Cop?
Yeah. We actually met him.
Ethan.
Yeah.
He's one of the writers on the show.
He's
too.
kidding.
he's a really old friend of ours.
Yeah.
Really?
We met
That's so
him-
weird because I met him at GMX. Was it this past year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I bought all the Axe Cops. I got him to sign them for me and everything. And
He's awesome. We met him at our first Comic-Con, and we became friends. And
seems like a really cool guy. He was actually on his way out when I got him, but I didn't be talking to him for
He
long.
was like, way back to the Sockbaby fandom. Like he flew me up to Oregon with the guy that played Davis the Gray.
Uh-huh.
He flew us up to Oregon to like perform on stage at a concert that their band was putting on. It's like we fought on stage as Ronnie and Davis, and I threw Davis into the crowd.
That's awesome.
It was
Is
amazing.
Is there any video evidence of this anywhere?
on the original Sockbaby DVD, I believe there was an Easter egg where there was all these credits, and then at the end of the credits there was live footage of it, and of you guys fighting on stage and him clearing that barrier over the security railing into the crowd.
I've never seen that.
I'm just
And
learning
then-
all kinds of things today.
Yeah, and then he went on he went on to like pitch all these shows that just were in development hell forever or got rejected, and then all of a sudden this Axe Cop thing happened.
And I think that's on Fox now or something.
Yeah.
We hung out with him in like this like shopping area in San Diego, like after a night in Comic-Con, and then we went back to our hotel and watched the premiere of his show.
That's so weird and
It was
so
really
cool.
weird.
Like, oh hey, here's this show I made on network TV.
Remember, he
No big deal.
stayed over at the house in Ceres right after Axe Cop took off, and he was traveling from LA to Oregon, and he stayed overnight at our house. And I was just like
Watching Mystery Science Theater.
we were watching Mystery Science Theater, and I was like,
full circle.
I was like, what the hell is up with this Axe Cop thing? I was like, of all the great stuff that you've made that I love, why this? And he's like, I don't know, man. It was like this sort of half, like, it was very weird. It was a weird conversation.
All these underhanded compliments.
Eve, we call him Eve, by the way. His name's Ethan, but we call him Eve. Like, he knows, like, he wrote this comic that I love that nobody cares about. Like, I've got it on my shelf. It's like my favorite thing he's ever done. Nobody cares about it. It's called The Weevil.
This is independent, like, graphic novel.
But Axe Cop is on Fox. So, read The Weevil.
Yeah, is it Animation Domination that it's on? Is that what it's called? So
It's on ADHD.
ADHD, that's what I was thinking. Because I didn't know, the way that I found out that was coming on Fox was I follow ADHD on Tumblr, and they had like an Axe Cop gif, like, tonight on ADHD or something. I was like, oh, I just met that guy. Like, I did not know that he was, I knew that there was, in one of the books I got from him, there's a mention of like, they're pitching it as a show now, but like everyone pitches a show at some point. It doesn't mean it's going to get made. Like
Marble Hornets
we know that. Yeah. Marble Hornets was pitched as a TV show at one point.
For like 2 years.
Yeah.
We've pitched stuff and have never succeeded.
I imagine it's not very easy.
We know what you guys are.
You have succeeded.
We didn't pitch anything.
You've made your own shows.
Yeah, no, I mean like we haven't pitched anything and anyone's ever bought it.
No.
Well, there was a point where Cartoon Network was calling like once a year and asking us to bring stuff in, and Doug would take it in and re-pitch Sockbaby as a cartoon, and they'd be all interested, and then it would just kind of die, and then next year you'd get a call,
Like
come
Jim
in, bring it
Henson.
in, we want to see it again. Yeah, Sockbaby was Jim Henson Company was after, so we didn't even pitch it at Jim Henson Company.
Wow.
But they wanted it. And then that just kind of went away, and it just
Steve O Entertainment, the guys that did those Thumb movies, the Thumb Wars, and
Oh,
I thought that was Bob Odenkirk.
Or Steve Odenkirk.
Steve Odenkirk,
It
not
is.
Odenkirk.
It is.
it is.
Yeah.
O Entertainment was his company.
Okay, I thought you were saying like Jackass Steve O.
Oh no.
I was like, oh,
That's
the guy they did Ace Ventura and Kung Pao.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Bob or Steve Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Okay, I always get it mixed up with Bob
Odenkirk.
Odenkirk. I was like, they're not related. He also he did Kung Pao, and then he also did that show for Nickelodeon, I think.
Jimmy Neutron.
Wait, he did Jimmy Neutron?
Jimmy
I thought he just did
Neutron
the
and
barn,
cow, the ones
with the cows.
Barnyard?
Yeah, the barnyard. I didn't know he made Jimmy Neutron. That's pretty cool. That was a pretty cool show.
An underrated show.
I think we might have talked about that a few podcasts ago, actually.
Yeah,
Did
we talked about the movie.
That exact, yeah. But
Oh,
I'm pretty sure we
yeah.
covered the Jimmy Neutron thing.
No, I didn't. Did we mention that it was made by him?
I think that's how we got to Jimmy. This is like an exact repeat of like a few episodes ago.
This is all
Wait.
falling apart.
It's just a rehash.
I heard this episode. You guys.
I know everything about you guys, and episode 3.
Need a fact checker.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you said that Cartoon Network went for Sockbaby, because that seems like something that Adult Swim would really jump on now or something. Like
I don't know.
I don't think Adult Swim was really a thing at the time.
Yeah.
It started in
pretty
the
early.
mid 2000s.
They didn't have original shows though until Aqua
they
Teen Hunger Force. I think.
didn't quite have the attitude they have now.
Yeah.
Until,
Well, Aqua Teen Hunger Force was pretty early on in Adult Swim too.
It was one of the originals, but like they didn't start doing all the live action stuff until much later on. But Tenaple was pitching it to them as like, an animated series that would be on Saturday afternoons.
Yeah, I didn't really see it as an animated thing until I think it was episode 3 where you had that one brief animated cutaway. Was that in episode 3?
2.
2, okay. Because it's like you mentioned being animated. I'm like, if it looked like that, then yes, I want it to be an animated show.
The concept was like we would shoot live action stuff in rotoscope, so it would be like it was like 80s heavy metal,
right?
Well, that was Doug's idea for it. He wanted us to like choreograph and shoot fight sequences that animators would then either
that sounds expensive.
Yeah,
it's actually a cheaper technique. That's why a lot of like Ralph Bakshi studios would do it, because it was cheaper for him to do it, to just trace.
Also,
it was a faster turnaround.
All right, well, you have.
Wait, I thought you were with me.
Nope, it was me and you.
That was we were at
and he thought your name was
Fritz.
Fritz.
Yeah.
He said, I really like Fritz the Cat, and he's like, 2 Fritz.
Yep. Yeah. No, it was my celebrity encounter with Ralph Bakshi was I noticed the girl in front of us at the line at Dragon Con had a sketchbook or something, and he was like, here, let me see her, the weird way he talked, here, let me see your sketchbook or whatever.
This is pretty good.
And he was like flipping through, he was like, oh, it's pretty good. And it's not half bad. And then he just like got to a blank page and without even asking, just started drawing. And then,
it's like, oh my god, this is a legend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw you a big kitted cat.
Yeah, he drew the guy from what?
The assassin from Wizards.
Yeah.
Really?
He drew that.
Just complete freehand.
It's freehand. Like it's like a bunch of lines and he connected them, and it was him. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. I really like. And really, the only thing he didn't do heavy metal, did he?
No.
Okay. The only thing of his that I had seen at the time was
No. Eastman runs Heavy Metal Magazine.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
the only thing of his that I'd seen at the time, and I still think now, was Fritz the Cat, which was the animated version of the Rob Crumb. Is that his name? Robert Crumb? I think that's So I was like, that movie's it's weird, but it's cool from an animation perspective. So I walked up to him and I was like, as he was signing, all I had was
the guest pass thing.
No, it was like a luggage tag or something.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
that
here,
was
can
it.
you sign this? He's like, oh yeah, sure. He thought it was really funny. I said, can you draw like a little Fritz the cat on the bottom? And he was like, no, I can't do that. I'm sorry. Like after he did it to the,
I don't think he even said that. He was just like,
no, he was like, he said no.
Oh.
But then for some reason, he wrote 2 Fritz on it.
That was the compromise.
He didn't ask my name. That's like, he heard what I said because he said no to it, but then he wrote. So now I have this luggage tag that says 2 Fritz signed Ralph Bakshi. So it's like, I don't know what that means.
And then
Right
Joseph
after that-
said, yeah.
Yeah,
then-
right after that, I went up to him and I was like, hey, I really like Wizards. I saw it when I was a little kid without my parents' permission or something. And he just said something weird back that was just like, I feel like my childhood just got shattered. Like, I don't.
No, you said your mom got mad at you when she found out you had watched it or something.
Yeah.
He thought it was really funny.
Yeah, but he said, like, he had some comment to it. I don't know. It was something like, you can watch it now and it's cool. Or, I don't know. It was just a very weird.
It was a very weird encounter.
He was only half listening.
Yeah.
And everything. Which, I mean, he's signing a lot of people's stuff.
Yeah,
So.
we were in line for a while, and yeah, he was like had the cells, the original cells from Wizards and stuff.
Like
Ooh,
the cheapest
so-
one was like 200.
Yeah.
I really wanted one.
Yeah, I really wanted one too.
That would be
But
sick.
not as much as I wanted one from Bob Camp. Is that who it was?
Yes.
At
I'm so sad about that.
at
Austin Comic-Con.
Comic Con, the guy that did not John Kay that did Ren and Stimpy. He was the one that came after John Kay,
Yeah,
I think.
the
I mean, they
last,
both-
the second 2 seasons that were like the weirder Nickelodeon stuff,
Yeah.
the non sequitur.
Or he was on it. At some
Yeah, I think
point, and then
I think he
took
worked
over.
on it the whole
Yeah.
time, but he wasn't like in charge until after John.
Yeah,
Kay
and
left.
they had
That's
some
right.
they had some original cells from Ren and Stimpy, and we were just like drooling over them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tim paid him to draw Powder Toast Man for him,
Excellent.
and we only had about an hour and a half
Because we had to get
Probably
back
more
on the
than
plane.
that.
Yeah,
we
we
had
had
to
to-
fly back.
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And Tim was like, "Do you have enough time?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it. It's
Just
fine."
make sure you write like priority on it
Yeah.
or something. And we did.
we did. And then we came back. And we had to leave. And
We had walked by a couple of times and you just sitting there eating a
He
sandwich.
was like, eating a sandwich, and
Sorry.
Okay, you get hungry.
that's fine. Whatever. I'm just disappointed that once
Yeah.
we had to leave, he didn't have it ready, so we didn't get one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be one of those people that's just like, how dare you do anything other than this thing that I wanted you to do?
Yeah. No, it's not. It's just a shame that we don't have a thing drawn by John or.
If only
Bob
we had
Camp.
gone by there earlier in the day.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we were doing anything else that
Yeah,
day.
we could have walked by at any point, but we just didn't see him.
We had some really good Mexican food though.
Yeah, we did.
For Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made the tortillas like right next to us.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fancy.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
So where did the danger element come from?
Yes.
Wow, that's a long story.
We've got
got
lots
time.
of
Plenty
time.
of time.
I guess I'll answer that one since I created it.
Oh, well.
The character was something that I had been developing since way early, like my early 20s. Actually, before I was probably 18 when I started developing it, and like
How old were you at Sockbaby?
like 20.
Okay, so this was before Sockbaby.
20, yeah.
Oh, this
pretty
is in
young.
college. This is when we were in film school.
So yeah, like I was like 23 when we did Sockbaby, and this was I think I was like 18 and I was
Weird.
developing the character. But it was supposed to be originally. It was just like we were doing this film school thing. I guess you could call it film school, but I wanted to develop this character that was like a catch-all that I could just test out all of my action ideas on, because I wanted to do martial arts and action and all kinds of things. And that's what it was to begin with. And then it's just developed over 13 or 14 years, I guess, into what it is now. So that's what it is. It's like the story is like this exaggerated, just sort of version of things I've experienced and heard of and am interested in.
Wait, this is based on real life or what?
Well, it's exaggerated. And
Okay.
it's like
To the point
symbolic.
of absurdity.
Yeah.
It's like symbolism and that sort of thing. So,
that garbage.
the thing that those
stuff.
storytellers do.
We don't abide by any of that fancy storytelling elements.
So that's where it came from. I could
It
tell
came
you
from
the-
school, kids. So stay in school.
Oh, jeez. The school
Truly.
that we got kicked out of.
Wait, you got kicked out of school
Yeah, we got kicked out of film school.
Because
for grades, or did you like set the building on fire?
Wouldn't do file paperwork and stuff.
Our instructor was like, you guys need to move on. Like, it wasn't like a vindictive thing. It was like, you guys are just staying here because you want to use our equipment. And you need to move on and do something better with your lives. And then we did, and she invited us back to lecture her classes.
Yeah, years later, yeah.
So it wasn't so much kicking out as
it was
like...
more a kick in the ass.
It was like, come on, stop mooching.
Right. It's like, do something great with your life. So we did.
So you made a video for the internet. Or not for the internet, that just ended up on the internet.
It just ended up there and people liked it.
Yeah, I think...
like a lot of things on the internet.
I read, I think it was from you that you actually wrote it. You said something like, you just sent Doug TeNapel an email one day being like, hey, I like stuff that you do. And he was like, he sent you an email back saying, well, I got this idea for you.
It was weird. It was, I liked this band called Five Iron Frenzy, and I bought their latest album, whatever year that was.
2003?
And it had, TeNapel did all of the artwork and stuff for their albums, and he had his email address on the back of it, so I sent him an email, and I was like, I really like what you do on these album covers. That was like, and it had like a link to a trailer for something that I had made, and he wrote back like with a script that he had like just written. He's like, I wrote this in like 15 minutes. We should do it. Let's do it. Let's do this. Yeah, and he's like, you need to read my comic. It had just like Creature Tech had just come out.
Yeah.
You need to read my comic, and then we're gonna make this film.
And so John's like, hey, we can buy it on Amazon. So we each bought copies of it, and we were like, this is amazing. And we went and we met up in Bakersfield at a Denny's, and then like come to find out, we knew that he grew up in the next town over from where we lived. Like he came from another small town out in the middle of California, and come to find out, like he grew up with my cousin. Like they were best friends growing up in childhood and stuff. And when I was reading that book, Creature Tech, there was a character in there that was based on my great uncle. But he had the same name. I'm like, I wonder, because like it takes place in Turlock, and so I asked him. He's like, yeah, that's who it's based on. How do you know that? I'm like, oh, that's what. Tell him the story, like, oh, my cousin Russ, and he's like, Russ was my best friend.
Yeah. And like in Ethan's book, The Weevil. Everybody should read The Weevil.
Way better than Axe Cop.
Ethan put Westhavenbrook Easter eggs in The Weevil. There's like a bunch of references to Westhavenbrook in there.
So that's why I like it.
That's pre-Axe Cop. That's pre-Axe Cop.
Vintage.
That's
vintage.
Old school.
I don't know. Did we say
liked him before he got big?
I don't want to sound like we're name dropping or anything.
I'm name dropping.
I was gonna say I don't think we said who Doug TeNapel was in case people don't know who Doug TeNapel is. He made Earthworm Jim. He made the Neverhood, right?
That's right.
Which was a game that came out in late '90s, I think. He also made. Did he make Scud, the disposable assassin?
That was Rob.
Okay, close.
So this guy you don't know the last name of made a bunch of stuff that you really love.
Yeah. What else did he make? What else?
He had a cartoon on Nickelodeon called Cat Scratch. It was about like these 3 cats that were millionaires.
Yeah.
Project Geeker. He did
Project Geeker in the 90s. Like he did the character designs on that show.
Cat Scratch was a more recent one, wasn't it?
It was. I mean,
relatively speaking,
it came slightly after SpongeBob, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might have been the next thing that came out after SpongeBob. Actually, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. I know my Nickelodeon history.
He's got just an entire library of graphic novels that have been published through Image and Scholastic. What else? I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't
lots of stuff.
Like all the things that people probably know is probably Earthworm Jim.
Yeah.
Or people that know
only 90s gamers will know.
And like maybe the Neverhood, because that's like a game that's really hard to find now. And I think they're making a sequel to it.
It's called Armakrog. It's not a sequel as much as just
spiritual successor.
Yeah, like it's the same kind of game, but in using modern techniques and stuff. But still
like claymation and everything.
It's gonna be like a stop motion.
Did it had a Kickstarter, right?
Correct.
Did it get funded?
Yeah, it's like way funded.
Okay. Because we were talking about that on the way here. I was like, I can't remember if it got just a little bit past funded or way funded. Because I was thinking
it got way funded, and then they got contacted by Nintendo, and they're like, "Hey, if you can match a certain point, we'll do a WiiWare version of it." And so then they did a thing on the Kickstarter, like, if you want to to be on the Nintendo Wii, network, we need to reach this certain point, and it reached that too. So.
Oh, so it was like a stretch goal on Kickstarter or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool.
That's pretty exciting. Like Rest Easy.
Yeah,
they got funded.
Yeah, I knew that that they were making. They wanted to make a sequel to it, or had been trying to make a sequel for a really long time.
Yeah.
No, they did have a sequel. It became
Boombots.
No, it was
Skull
Monkeys. They made it was like a spiritual successor too. So, yeah.
Actually, I think it's kind of a sequel because
I mean, you play as the same
Clayman's
character.
in there. And,
yeah. Was Clay Fighter? Did he have anything to do with Clay Fighter? I remember that was
I think
a fighting
you're just
game.
thinking Clay.
I'm just thinking
now.
Clay things now, but
I don't know. The company might have been who made Clay Fighter.
I'm just grasping at straws here. I was just wondering.
He didn't make that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation in the 60s.
Was he part of Celebrity Deathmatch?
It's like, this isn't a podcast so much as me, like, tell me stories. Yep. Tell me these things.
Internet story time is still story time. So.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, maybe someone will listen to it. So, tell us what you're doing now, even though you kind of already did. Like, what is on the horizon
For Westhavenbrook.
for Westhavenbrook?
For me, for us, I guess, I'm finishing. I've been working on post-production on the last episode of The Danger Element for a long time.
Which is episode
13.
13. Okay, that's what I thought.
And so that'll probably be done within the next few months. And I just can't wait. That's all I've been thinking about. But then, we recently started these jobs, this job out here working on this DreamWorks show. We had to relocate from California to Nashville. And we spend most of our time editing cartoons now.
Yeah.
I guess there's worse jobs to have.
I like it, but it's very demanding on our time and our. Yeah,
that's what I hear when it comes to animation type jobs, is that it becomes your life.
What about you, Justin? Do you have any projects that you've got on the horizon, or are we just doing everything together? Is that the deal?
That tends to be the case. Like
that's the same with us.
Yeah, it's like, do we do anything separately? No, not really.
That sounds hard.
I mean, the Danger Element this past year has been kind of crazy, and Danger Element wrapping up. We keep talking about doing more Sockbaby or doing more Go Sukashi, but we just haven't. Which is another internet series. You can find it. www.gosukashi.com or just search on the YouTubes for Go Sukashi. That's GOSUKASHI. I think I spelled that right.
Sure.
Anyways, we talked about doing another season of that, and which we were going to do, but then the series that we make, Go Sukashi, was partly funded through a company in Japan. And ever since Fukushima, it's been kind of like the third season that we were going to do for it has fallen through.
It's been in flux.
Yeah,
we've been planning it for a long time, but other things keep coming up, and so it's just been delayed. I'm
like
also
reactor meltdowns.
Well, there's that. I forgot to mention that. Well, I mean, actually, just to talk about that for a second.
Okay.
To talk about reactor meltdowns.
Now we're talking about this thing.
Here's our weekly reactor meltdown update.
When that happened, when the tsunami happened and the reactor meltdown and all that stuff, the guy that owns the company that commissioned us to make Go Sukashi didn't know where his wife was for like 24 hours. Like, that actually was
That's
that
terrifying.
actually did impact our show.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
In a very sort of roundabout way, I guess.
So it's like you call him and you're like, do you still want us to do this? Like, no, my wife is missing.
Well, I'll call you back.
I mean, yeah, I can tell this is a bad time.
But I forgot to mention, for the last couple of years, I've been developing this a short, like an action, like a sort of a sci-fi action short with my friend Ted Smith.
And
And Cassie, who's going to star in it. Mm-hmm. I can't say anything really about it because he really wants to keep it a secret until we unveil. We're building these really elaborate props and stuff.
And they're looking amazing.
Yeah.
Cassie, can you say anything about
Well,
it?
there's been a progress shot of one of my costumes put up on Ted's Facebook page.
You were showing a little bit. It's like this
but I mean,
weird like mechanical pilot suit.
Yeah.
But so what the plan is, we're gonna finish the costume, which is really elaborate, and we're gonna finish the big,
The top secret part that you
so
can't
much
talk
teasing.
about.
The big
Pacific Rim
mechanical
robots.
Yeah.
The,
all
It's
the
actually
pyrotechnics.
Pacific Rim 2.
Yeah,
It's gonna be.
get the pyrotechnics installed.
and then
To
we're gonna
scale.
do like a photo shoot with that stuff to kind of unveil it, and it's probably gonna be a Kickstarter type of thing.
The most I've been told about it so far is that my costume is going to fit like a glove. And
You know what the general story of it.
well, yeah, I know that.
I was about to say, you're starring in the thing.
But like the things that are actually like happening, currently with it, because for the past year or so, we've just been kind of putting stuff down on paper. But in the past few months, like since the beginning of the year, it's been all let's do it.
It's really like I would say it's probably going to come in around 18 minutes, and it's very like 80s mecha anime type stuff, and it's
Sign me up.
It's all live action.
Back when they used to call it Japanimation,
Way back in the day.
back in 1983.
It's gonna be unbelievable. Like there's lots of miniature stuff and lots of full size insane props.
So kind of like how they
a lot
made
of practical.
how they made like Godzilla and stuff with like the guy in the suit in the miniature cities.
But way better.
No, just perspective stuff. Like you
that's
wouldn't even
Aliens.
notice.
Oh, okay.
Like
like
James
Aliens.
Cameron, what he did with Aliens. When they're coming in with the ships and landing in the town and all that stuff. The
Whoa.
way that they pulled that kind of stuff off.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're doing anything quite that elaborate, but that's generally how we're approaching
But
it.
Ted's good enough to do something.
UFOs with strings.
That's how I would do it.
That's how I would do it. Like, I don't care.
So is that going to be the next big thing, sort of post Danger Element? Is that
That's
sort of
that's something
like
that's kind of like
On
or-
his side, or
No, it's on the side.
We've been actively developing it for like 3 years, but like we're still trying to like there's the step we're trying to get to where we've got a script locked and we have these two things built, which is the suit and then the other thing that I can't mention.
Yeah.
the
And then once we do that, we're probably gonna focus on making that short for however long it takes, but.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about
it. I don't know anything about it.
Sorry, Ted, if I said too much. You're the one who posts all the pictures on the internet. Jeez, Ted. Come on, let's rein that in.
We should get them to tell us about it when we turn the microphone off and just make the description for the podcast exactly like, oh, whoops, I accidentally typed it all out. My bad.
A word-for-word transcript.
Yeah, it's actually just the script that they like. You thought you were gonna be able to tell everyone about it. It's us.
You guys don't know how badly I want to talk about it.
I know the feeling for when
Yeah.
when we couldn't talk about having Doug Jones on
Which-
the movie.
That's an interesting. I'm glad you brought that up because these fellas right here sort of inadvertently had a big part to play in how the Marble Hornets movie stuff panned out because you're pretty much the whole reason why we ended up getting linked up with Doug Jones in the first place. You contacted us on Facebook a long time ago. I know who that is.
Because I was a huge fan of the Hornets.
He was totally fangirling.
And then so was I after that.
Yeah.
And then I remember
we were. That was the weird thing is that we were fans of each other.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's exactly how
Oh,
I was like, I'm such a big fan of Marble Hornets, and then you guys were like, you made Sockbaby? I don't even think it was right away, right?
No, it wasn't right away because I guess I remember you sent the link to the Danger Element in the message. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then for some reason it took a while to click. It was like you posted a picture of yourself in like the suit or something. I was like, wait just a minute. But and then I saw the first episode of Danger Element and I saw that Doug Jones was in it and I was just like, you know what? That might just be crazy enough to work.
And it did.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
It took a while.
Thanks,
but
Twitter.
Yeah. Thanks, Twitter. Well, it was originally, let's put Doug Jones in Marble Hornets for whatever misguided reason we had.
I was
kind of glad.
Thank God that didn't
Thank
work
God
out.
it didn't happen. He would have hated us.
I called him and I was like, you should get in contact with these Marble Hornets guys. I was thinking the same thing. He should be in the show.
Yeah.
Because he was in my show.
But he also
But then he
essentially
watched
lived
our
down the
show and he was
street.
like,
He essentially lived down the street from you instead of on the other side of the country from us.
And you guys are like always in production. Like, right? You don't do
Basically.
like, you guys don't do like spurts of production where he could come out for like a week
I mean, we could if we got him.
Yeah, I mean, we would work it around him.
We were actually talking about, like, what if we did get him? Like, we're going to have to, like, figure out everything we have him for, because we're going to have him for, like, a day. Because that's what we're going to be able to afford, maybe, is to have him for, like, a day.
It would have been the most productive time in Marble Hornets history.
Yeah, pretty much.
That would have been a severe change, just because, we've done little batches of block shooting where maybe we'll get 2 entries at a time at most, or material for maybe 3, but that's one where we'd have to, like, plan out each individual scene for lots of them in a row and just get those little tidbits first, and that would, we've never really done that before.
Yeah, people, I heard this, I can't remember who it was that said it, about making things for the internet. They were like, a lot of people work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
It was the guy from Akewood, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Chris Onstad, the guy from Akewood. He said, when you make things for the internet, for us, it would be like, we don't work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. We work 2009 to now. It's how it feels. It's like you are always working, or you're thinking about work, and it's really distracting.
You're dreaming about it.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah, I had a dream the other day that we were shooting something, and I forgot something really important. And then that dream will probably come true pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because forget things all the time.
Yep. Sometimes multiple times in a row.
Yeah.
In the same day.
No, it was like we went to LA or something to shoot something, and I was like, I forgot the camera.
Nobody in LA has a camera.
No one. Yeah. But yeah,
Can't afford a rental.
It's really strange that we now have a 1 degree separation to Doug Jones because of Westhavenbrook. Or I guess we don't really have a separation because we've met him and everything.
Yeah.
And he's
We-
in the
but
thing.
it's-
He's in the movie. He's in the movie.
Yeah. Well, before that, then we
Right.
did. And then we just happened to meet him when we went to the set to see it being filmed and everything.
Yeah,
So.
that was pretty exciting.
And Troy is his puppy.
Oh, I love being a puppy. I love being
Everybody
Doug's
gonna be a puppy.
Yep. We're his Alabama puppies.
Yeah. I don't think he has any more Alabama puppies either.
I hope not.
Oh.
He better not. He
We'll
better
fight
not.
them.
He better not be puppy cheating on us.
I am Alabama puppy aggressive.
Okay, so
Enough about you nerds. Where are you
Enough,
going,
enough
Cassie?
about Westhavenbrook's mess.
I don't even know what I'm up to half the time. Like,
I'm just blitzed right now.
Oh, you're obviously starring in the super secret thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the super secret thing, and then I
That we
starred
totally
in
just heard
the
about.
Danger
Yeah.
Elements. But I do a lot of my own stuff, but the past year or so I haven't been able to do my own stuff because I'm so busy with what other people are wanting me to do. Like I do a lot of commissioned artwork and stuff like that, and for some reason I design a lot of tattoos, yet I don't have any tattoos and would never get one. So
What about your modeling blog stuff?
the modeling stuff is just like, it's just kind of a job. Like,
It's a
To be
bummer,
honest.
man.
well, it's like people like to make it out to be like this really creative thing, but it's really like just what you guys do at work every day. Like, you go to this thing and people tell you what to do. You know, I mean, it is creative just to some extent because you're like making decisions and stuff like that. But like, it's not. I'm just not completely satisfied with it because it's not my thing. You know.
It's your job.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what you guys were saying of you have all these things you want to do. It's kind of a problem that we have. It's like we have at least, I would say, 7 or 8 ideas that we really want to do right now, but it's
Fleshed
like
out ones and then like 30 not just
not
like
like 1 sentence ideas.
Yeah, we put together a pitch book of 30 films pitches that we were trying to like. Anybody want to pick any of these?
You want a piece of this?
I just imagine it like one of those like
hair salon with a portfolio book, just looking through. Yes.
or like a little newsboy or something like extra. Here's our come and get your scripts.
You want
Pitch
a
number
ninja
27,
movie?
ready right here, sir.
Yeah.
You want a movie about a barbershop? We got that.
It's like we have, I'd probably say 6 or 7 things that we really want to do, and then like these 30 other things that we really want to do that we have no idea what they're really about.
Yeah.
But it's like Marble Hornets is like the thing that has to come first now.
That is our job.
That is our job.
the
and it's like-
self-imposed day job.
Yeah, so it's like we
Which sounds really shitty now that I think about it. It's like, oh, they're complaining about making.
No,
videos.
I'm not complaining about making things for the internet for a living. That's awesome.
You guys are living it though. You know what I mean? Like you are living on your creative juices.
Yes,
That just sounds like
when you put it that way.
that just sounds like we're attached to some IV all the time. Like I gotta have it.
It's all fun and all, but I think the thing is with artists generally is that you need to like move on because anything that's really good for you and that you really like doing, like it gets old really quick.
Yeah.
So you have to like move on to the next thing in order to like feel like you're I'm doing something. But like if you're doing something for like 5 years, then
I wouldn't say that Marble Hornets has gotten old for us, but I guess the framing of it is like we can't do certain things that we want to do within this framing of this.
I would say
thing.
it's a lot more taxing than it used to be. Like
which I think if you do anything for
it
5
probably
years,
should be.
When we first started, I remember going over to Troy's and just being really excited.
like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this.
And I still always feel excited when we do release a new entry. It's just leading up to that, it feels like a lot more of a grind than it used to.
Not really grind, it feels like work.
Yeah.
So a grind.
So ew, gross work. And it's kind of like I feel that way when we're in the office or whatever. And it's like we have to think about let's think of a nature break joke. That's funny. Or let's think of a THAC short. That's funny. And then when it comes time to write a Marble Hornets, we just fall completely silent. We're just like
I don't know.
I don't know a thing.
I don't know.
I don't know. We did write the script for the next entry, or Tim wrote the script for the next entry. Pretty quick. I mean, it's what I'm excited
overnight.
about. It's
I'm better at that kind of stuff when we discuss it and get everything organized during the day, and then I just kind of take my laptop with me by myself and just kind of shut myself off for the evening.
Yeah.
And then just kind of churn it out. I don't know.
Time about the script.
The writing process of Marble Hornet. Okay, I don't know. Exterior night. Woods,
whatever. Scary thing happens, whatever. Like we don't even write scripts if there's not a lot of talking in it. So
we just have a bunch of buzzwords in a fishbowl written on little slips of paper, and we pull them out, and that's how we make every entry.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna think that's how it's really done.
Please don't think that. It's close, but that's not how it's done.
Give it a little credit.
Give it a little bit of credit. We actually know where it's going. Kind of. No, we do. I promise.
You guys want to answer some podcast questions that weren't actually directed at you?
Before we do that, since Cassie won't mention it, I'll say you should, if you don't know of any of her work, you should go to YouTube and watch a short film that she made called Val Mortis.
Yes.
Spell that.
That's
VALLE. It's Latin for Valley of Death, and let me finish spelling it. MORTIS before I interject. So I make films too, but my main like things that I like to do for myself is drawing and then making films and stuff. But like my main shtick, I think, is I like to make pretty things ugly and disturbing, and I like to make disturbing things pretty, kind of like that thing.
This Frankenstein's monster drawing we have right here.
That you can't see.
Yeah,
but
so all the stuff.
It's
on
very
that.
good though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We should make this the podcast art.
Oh yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah.
We have permission.
Yeah, we don't need permission.
There's a lot of just like weird stuff on there that I'm more of like a visual storyteller, I think, than like a narrative storyteller. So I like showing people like weird stuff.
We like weird stuff.
We like weird stuff. I like making weird stuff. I guess we all like making weird stuff.
I think everyone in this room is weird.
Bunch of weird nerds.
We're all unique little snowflakes.
That's all I wanted to say about you.
Yeah, that was actually a big thing for like a year. I think I started filming that this time last year, and it took me about a year to do. It was a lot of work, and I almost killed myself several times doing it.
Oh.
And other people.
Yeah, and other people.
You almost caused other people to get hypothermia.
Yeah, which is pretty common in us. Yeah.
We have
So are we talking
something
literal
in common.
kill yourself? Just
Well,
doing
it was,
stunts?
if you see, you might see, but it was shot like on probably a 40-foot cliff, like half of it.
Oh.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and it was very, very cold, and at one point I was at the bottom of a cliff, and a giant rock fell on my leg, and I couldn't walk for 2 weeks.
Oh,
that was
God.
pretty cool. Yeah, but it was
And it's
worth
in the
it.
film. The shots in the film, you can see the rocks coming down.
Yeah,
These big
and I
rocks.
cut like on the last frame, like in the frame after that, and I'm like dodging out of the way. And, like, I rolled out of the way, but yet like it still somehow landed on me. So.
Wait, so that wasn't supposed to happen,
No,
I'm
it
guessing.
wasn't.
So
Just got caught on camera. You
Happy
used the shot.
accident.
Happy
Yeah.
accident.
happy accidents.
It's a
We are
lot of
very
Marble
But
Hornets right
the
there.
rocks were supposed to fall.
Yeah,
just weren't supposed to
Not
fall.
on
Yeah,
you.
it was supposed to be like we were shooting in this part of the like a divot like in the cliff where there's just like a bunch of like little pieces of gravel, and so I was getting a really really low angle shot, and I was like, hey, kick some of that gravel down, and like
And then a boulder
it
comes
started
down.
to come down. It started to come down. I was like, okay, good. And then like this big, probably like 2 feet wide or something
Oh
like
my
that
God.
came like tumbling down towards my knee, and it got me right there.
On the
Cap.
leg.
Yeah. She's pointing at me.
Right there, everybody.
Right there. Can you see it? The scar is horrible. Oh, God. Get it away.
The humanity.
All of our Marble Hornets and THAC work has been made on sea level because Troy's not very big on height.
Yeah.
Tall
Well,
things.
there's been high up things sometimes. But
It's
it's
just-
not,
If you
that
have the
other
one
people
that-
have
yeah,
done.
it's not me shooting it. That happens. I'm not. I probably couldn't stand on this box. Well, they can't see this box.
You got 3 rungs up the ladder, and you're like, this is as high as I go.
Yeah, I can go up 3 rungs on a ladder. And I'm like, I have to get down. I'm gonna freak out.
In the entry of Marble Hornets, when Jay climbs the red tower, that was actually me climbing.
Wow.
Because
For-
I wouldn't do it. I was
for
like, I
Troy.
can't do it.
Aw.
The fact that it was like rotting probably.
Yeah,
wouldn't be there,
it
but-
probably wasn't a good idea to climb it for anybody.
Yeah.
There was a cool location that we found one time. I won't say what it was, but it looked really cool, and it was abandoned, and it was really, really tall, but it was
Ugh.
difficult to get to the top.
Yep.
And so we were like, that would be really cool to shoot in, but we'll also never get Troy up there, so
I
we'll
said-
just have, that one's out.
I said you can sling the camera on your shoulder, go up there and do it. I don't care. I'm not going up there.
But you're on your own.
You're on your own. It was really dangerous too. It was like
Yeah.
abandoned. It was
I'm just
like,
saying, yeah.
I would say it was
Decidedly
it
a
has,
place
I
where
said
no
it
one is
looked
supposed
cool.
to
I
be.
didn't say it was safe.
It has one of those lights on top of it for planes, and I know that it has to be at least 99 stories to be that tall, or to be
99 stories?
or not. No, it's
Feet?
feet. Yeah, 100 feet. Okay. 99 feet for it to be required to have the light on top of it for playing. So it's at least that tall. To get up to it, you have to climb a ladder on the outside with no guardrails.
Ooh, yeah.
No, halfway up.
guardrails.
The other half you have to actually climb up through the
Pitch black.
the
Pitch black.
the pitch black elevator shaft with
Yeah.
no back to it.
So I
All
wouldn't do
the
that.
rungs were set in concrete, so they're not going anywhere.
Also-
You just
So
might.
it's
Yeah.
basically safe.
Also, there were wasp nests in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
I'm
you-
stuck on the hand.
Marble
Yeah,
Hornet
wait.
nest?
Hornet's nest?
It's the perfect location.
Well, you guys can just have
You guys
that.
the
as-
missed
source.
the
A
opportunity.
tall building surrounded by hornets.
we can stop this now.
Okay. So questions,
Anyway, yeah.
maybe?
You have any questions that?
Oh, I suppose we have a couple.
That we will
Well,
not be answering.
Nicholas wants to know, what do you think of all the cryptocurrency stuff going around recently? Really, the only question I could think of.
I don't know anything about.
You
it.
don't know anything about the
The bit
computer coins,
The
Computer-
Dogecoin.
computer money.
Dogecoin.
pewter money. Yeah.
Their computers make money that is really easy to steal. I don't think I'll be buying any. That's
We're going to get a really long email explaining why it's the safest way to have
Just
money
one
stored.
email? I don't think so.
I don't know much of anything. I remember I went to the Wikipedia page one time for Bitcoins and I tried to read it and I had no idea what it was talking about.
All I know about Bitcoins is that everyone starts to get really excited about Bitcoins, and then suddenly, like, thousands of them get stolen.
Yeah.
Thousands of them disappear. That's all I really know about them.
Sounds like Monopoly.
Is
Kinda,
West-
yeah.
Is Westhavenbrook going to come out with Westhaven Bucks?
Oh, snap.
Uh,
It would be a pretty sweet looking coin.
I want to be on the $10 buck.
On the 10
It's all on computers.
don't sell yourself short. It's like I demand to be on the $1,000.
You could have fat coins, fat bucks, or what?
That
no,
coins.
Fat coins.
Fat coins,
Fat coins.
or
Yeah.
Troy bucks.
Yeah. Troy
Troy.tv
dollars.
dot money.
THAC.TV/money dollars.
If you would like to invest in our cryptocurrency, please email podcast@that.tv.
You'll get the first one.
Yes.
You'll get the first batch that we pretend to print up.
I'll
send
draw.
you-
I'll
our
draw.
fir-
Yeah.
if we pretend it exists and you pretend that it has value, then it's basically the same, right?
Yeah, you just give us money, give us $100, be like, I want 100 THAC coins.
Yeah.
And we'll send you, I will draw you a circle, a yellow circle that has a T on it, and then I'll copy and paste it 100 times into a picture, then I'll send it to you, and we'll take your $100, and that's the same thing.
And I would sell counterfeit THAC coins that I'll draw in MS Paint.
Like, they're not as good, but...
It'll be exactly the same, except just the bottom of the T is just bent a little.
Yeah, it's a J.
Jack coins. I don't really have an opinion on those. I don't own any. I wish I owned some back when they were like $5. Because aren't they worth like $1,000 now or something?
I don't know. They're worth something different every day.
Yeah.
Just like real dollars, but just like currency.
Let's see. Brian asked.
Hey,
Really?
It's the different Brian. Says, you guys say your writing process is long and tiring. Is there any way you could record one and release it? Honestly, this is kind of what they sound like. Just these podcasts is kind of what they sound like.
A lot of tangents.
Yeah. We'll set a topic and then go on something else for about half an hour.
Is that how you guys write, or is it like...
Depending on... Danger Element is all written by me.
Yeah.
But everything else, we sit down in a room and we get Chinese food or something, and then we don't write.
I think
that sounds like us.
Exterior night forest.
We'll come up with ideas like, oh yeah, like, you know, we should do stuff like this. Hey, you want to watch a movie or something?
Well, I think
We watched RoboCop on our last writing session, didn't we?
I think the way John, his method of writing tends to be like semi-obsessing about it, like with Battle Journey stuff.
I pace around and
he'll bounce ideas off of me at like midnight.
and the ideas are vast. They're not like, I've got this idea for a dialogue sequence. It's like, I've got this idea for a saga of 23 movies.
And he'll think.
What do you think of number 17?
And I've got them all worked out.
Everything's already golden except 17. I need your thoughts on that.
It's kind of the big turning point of the what's the word for saga but with 24 things. I don't know. It's like, I know trilogy, saga, and that's it.
Wait, what is
trilogy? Is 3 things. Saga, I think, is 4.
Quadrilogy is 4.
Yeah.
Quintology.
I think saga is just like a catch-all.
Okay.
Saga just a group of things.
I think quintology is 5.
This is podcast. Troy learns new words.
The process, like on Go Sukashi, where we wrote together, like I always like that kind of a process makes sense to me because it's not like if I wrote it, I don't think it would be acceptable. I think it'd be too weird, or it would be too serious, or I wouldn't know what I wanted to do with it. But it's also the process of writing with other people is kind of confusing to me.
Yeah,
but it works.
You saw a little bit of our writing process today when we were filming earlier on the thing.
It's like the thing that we were shooting here. It's
here's my big ideas. Then one of us will say, we'll say, how about this? And we're like, yeah, that works way better.
Oh wait, that changes everything.
Or like earlier today when I was talking about the ending, and then it's like, well, just make it this thing instead. And it's like, yeah,
that's a better idea.
We've done a lot of shorts like that where we were actually shooting and we improv. We would just talk, and then dialogue would come out of that, and then we'd just do it.
Yeah.
But there was no arc to that kind of stuff. It was just whatever happened.
With these one-offs, there's not much, so it does lend itself to that. But
we don't straight up improvise.
Yeah,
not really.
I can't really think of anything in Marble Hornets that's just everything is straight up improvised.
Maybe in
the nature breaks are kind of.
The actions in the nature break are completely improvised, but
well, even with the stuff that we've like the set movies, the stuff that we would say we improvise, it really involved, we would talk for like 20 minutes, and then we ended up saying something we thought was funny, so and it would be structured by the time you filmed it, so you really are actually writing it. And it's weird. Not really.
How do you even define these terms? I don't know.
Improv would be like you start rolling the camera and whatever the hell happens goes in the movie.
Haha, wiener.
You know what's funny? Wieners.
Yep.
That's the movie. I looked it up, and the term that fits best with us, with the way we do Marble Hornets, is retro scripting.
Yeah.
Which is you have, here's the things that happen. Here's 1 or 2 lines that need to be said. Whatever happens between those, whatever. It's not important, so just improvise it.
Yeah.
So,
but even then, we don't do that all the time. So
no. I'm saying, like, whenever we quote unquote improvise, it's more of that.
We've actually moved away from that as we've gone longer in the series.
We've done stuff like that too.
I think a lot of things are done like that.
Yeah, I think
because we thought the retro scripting thing would be easier, and then when we actually started writing everything out, all of it, it seemed like retro scripting was usually harder.
It's easier in the writing process. It's a lot harder in the filming process.
Because then you get there and the camera's rolling and they just go, okay, now just do something, and you just sit there like what? What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
They, as in us.
Yeah.
Whoever is not on camera at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of the things that we don't know what certain locations are going to look like until we get there. So it's like, okay, so that thing that we said we were going to do, we got to do it completely differently now. So, like with the last entry.
And the thing we're filming here.
That too. Like
I don't know what this looks like.
The last Marble Hornets entry, we had a completely different idea for how something happened. So it's... I know what you're laughing about.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's not what I was talking about. But
yeah, but that's a thing.
We'll save that for the commentary later. You gotta pay for that.
Oh my god. Just next question.
Yeah, next question.
Only other question I can see that doesn't involve Marble Hornets plot questions or asking Joseph's opinions on an anime are Molly asks, if it was socially accepted, would you wear a cape?
Oh, I own capes.
What do you mean not socially accepted? That doesn't matter.
We go to cons all the time. Everybody wears a cape there.
Yeah.
It's all about the context, what's socially acceptable.
That's a Seinfeld reference.
I mean, that's like saying if it was socially acceptable, would you wear pants? It's like, I mean, if it's socially acceptable, sure.
Yeah.
That's not a I mean,
People used to wear capes when it was socially acceptable. I think that answers your question.
Yeah.
True.
I would love to wear a cape.
That is my white hot opinion on capes.
Now, would you go with a plain color cape, or would you have some
like
ornamentation on it?
Tie-dye.
Whatever was the most socially acceptable.
Yeah. Unless I was like 15.
Don't want to make anyone uncomfortable with
Yeah.
my cape choice. I think I would do one of those fancy half capes.
Would you give it
Where
one of the frills?
like Robin?
Like
Yeah, maybe one of the half capes or the one where it's just over one shoulder thing, where it's one color on one side and then another one on the inside.
Or like the Assassin's Creed thing that kind of goes over you kind of hold it over your arm or whatever.
Or would you
Was
get
that the first one? Because that's the one I played.
I mean, I think it's in all of them, but I don't remember.
Okay.
It kind of instead of going over your back, it goes over your arm, kind of. It's like you're wearing it sideways.
Like Magneto and X-Men.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
or would you get one of those ones that has the really big collars that cover up to your ears?
Oh.
So you could be all mysterious with your cape, because then you could just walk around.
I think if you're just walking around with
swishing
any
it
kind
everywhere.
of cape, you're already kind of mysterious.
Well,
the history of why is that guy wearing a cape?
Well, with swishing it around.
Why does he think that's socially acceptable?
That'd be a good way to find out. You should make an experiment.
It's you kind of already answered your own question by saying if it was socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also context, because if you dress,
oh my god, that's
rather dapper, and it would go along with what you're wearing. But if you were a white t-shirt and blue jeans dude wearing a Count Dracula cape,
you'd be the coolest guy ever.
You're going around in your plaid shorts and a red t-shirt, and you've got a...
You're just Spurlock.
yeah, you're basically me.
You just described what you're wearing.
Oh yeah, strange that you bring that up. He's wearing a cape right now. That'd be
I just want everybody's approval to see if it's socially acceptable.
You actually sent that question.
My name's
This
Molly.
time perfectly.
That's about it for questions, except for Haley asks, my friend and I just want to know how Brian's doing. He's doing good.
He's doing all right.
He's in the trunk of my car.
Oh.
But he's doing good.
He's doing good. He's fine in the car. He's fine with.
You didn't need to say that.
Oh, I thought
You don't tell the truth with these questions. Come on.
Actually, he's in school to be a nurse now.
Wow.
Yeah, he's on his way.
He's being way more professional than any of us.
Bless his little heart.
Wives act.
Inside joke.
He actually has lives in his hands now. People
Don't put it that way.
Yeah.
people rely on Brian now.
Funniest thing.
Not yet, they don't, but they will.
The funniest thing would be if you had
Lives are in his hand, like the edges of a sharp rock cliff. Because Brian climbs mountains.
metaphorically and literally.
Yep.
How weird would it be if you just had a seizure all of a sudden, and you just you don't remember anything happening, and you just wake up and Brian is looking at you in a hospital.
I would feel safe.
I would feel safe too. He's actually holding you ever so gently in his arms, it's okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay. I'm here. I'm here for you.
No, he would greet everyone with, Hey, I'm Brian. Like, whether you're waking up from a coma or just coming in, whatever, that's just,
Hey, I'm Brian.
I just wanted to inform everyone that Joseph just got like this little gleam in his eye because we're sitting by, I'm guessing, John's TV. And
No, it's the neighbor's TV.
And he just saw Speed Racer
on Blu-ray.
On Blu-ray,
the Wachowski Speed Racer film.
Yeah,
I love it. This is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm a
We had a thing on our podcast about movies that fucking rule.
Is what it's
and that is mine.
It's like movies that don't have to be good. They just have to like rule. They have to be really awesome. RoboCop is mine. And you said
I don't remember what
Starship Troopers is one that fucking rules.
That's a MT
like movies that aren't going to be nominated for an Oscar, but they fucking rule. Yeah. And that's
Encino Man.
Do you guys have movies that
Biodome? I was just gonna say it's kind of ironic that you brought that up because the Matrix films and Speed Racer are kind of metaphorically connected to the danger element in that I feel like what happened to them, they made these three big films that had this sort of monochromatic like color scheme and this really rigid storytelling like technique, and then they made Speed Racer. That's what's going to happen to me when I finally finish Danger Element is like whatever I make next is going to be like explosively colorful and
good,
insane.
I want to be a part of that.
Oh, I thought you were finishing his sentence. I'm like, wow, you're kind of an asshole. Yeah. He's like, it's gonna be kind of explosions, and you went and good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, ouch.
And good this time.
But you meant good. That's good.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm a giant like Wachowski fan, and I get
people too.
I get ridiculed for it.
What other things? Have they made
you like
besides,
things that I don't like.
besides the Matrix and Speed Racer, what else have they made?
Matrix. The things that
they've produced a bunch
of the things that they've made that I love. It's the Matrix, Speed Racer, Cloud Atlas, and
I didn't know they made Cloud
Atlas.
The next one that they're making, Jupiter Ascending, looks incredible. Like I'm so like mind-blowingly excited about that movie.
I heard Cloud Atlas was kind of confusing and weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it's also great.
Confusing and weird doesn't mean it's bad, because I mean we built our career off of that.
Thus far.
We spent 5 years making YouTube videos that are confusing and
a
weird.
lot of classic films are
confusing and weird.
Well, I think it's only confusing if you don't pay attention, which it's easy to because it's a long movie. It's really long.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for people who don't like to pay attention.
Yeah.
Most movies
that
come out in the theater get knocked because they're too confusing. Even though, like, somebody said Danger Element was too confusing. And I'm like, it's no more... It actually has the same structure as The Rocketeer. Like, do you think The Rocketeer... If I explained the structure...
So let's talk about deep movies for a second.
If I explained, like, the story structure and the characters and how they connect to each other in Rocketeer, you'd be really confused. But if you watch the movie, it's not confusing.
I can't remember The Rocketeer at all, so...
He fixed his gas tank with a piece of gum.
Okay.
And he pulled it off.
And there's Nazis trying to get a thing, and there's the
I love the
mafia trying to
Rocketeer
get
as
a
a kid.
thing.
All these guys are trying to get a thing.
Howard Hughes built a rocket pack. The Nazis wanted it. Some dudes stole it. It was some. I think it was the mob.
Yeah.
Steals it. Who's after him? Is it Howard Hughes? It's the FBI or the CIA or something is after it.
Wait, is Howard Hughes the Rocketeer?
No.
Oh, okay.
Howard Hughes built the rocket.
Okay.
And then it gets stolen by the mafia, who were hired by the Nazis.
Of course.
And like the CIA is chasing the mobsters.
You're absolutely right. I've never realized that.
See what I'm saying?
You were
and people are like,
weird.
the danger element's too confusing. I'm like, this is what people say when they don't want to pay attention. Okay, that movie was too confusing. Like, pay attention.
Yeah. I one of my favorite movies. I can't remember what year it was made, but it's called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Amazing.
Like
that was like 99, 2000, something like that.
Was it? I thought it was like 2004 or 5 or something. I thought it was.
No, I think it was earlier than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, strangely enough, I didn't know this. The guy that directed Iron Man 3.
Yep.
Same guy that made Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Shane Black. That's really weird.
He actually he was in Predator. Did you know that?
Who was?
Shane Black.
Really?
Yeah. He's. Do you remember like the skinny guy who has the big glasses, but he's like the member of the main party?
Really?
That's Shane Black. Apparently, it was like the studio cast him in that small bit part to sort of like watch the production and make sure everything, like they weren't wasting a ton of money or something like that. Like he was the enforcer basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's him too.
I've heard criticism about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang that it's really complicated and confusing. It's like it's a mystery thing. You got to pay attention.
It's infinitely entertaining. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem I have with people saying that too is that I love stuff like that. The more complicated it is, the more I'm into it.
Have you watched True Detective?
I don't think so.
It just came out.
Yeah.
It's a
HBO show.
HBO.
Oh, yeah, I don't really watch shows on TV.
We're too cool.
It's not that. It's just that it's too
you
much
like
of a
you like complicated things where like you have to remember people's names and everything. They don't hold your
I
hand.
love Fringe. I got the whole series right.
I'm eager. I want to watch True Detective so bad. So like when it comes out on Netflix or something, I'm gonna.
The only thing I've seen of it was that really long shot you showed me.
Yeah.
Just
That
goes
was
through like
awesome.
3 different houses and it's just like one take. It looks like
It's like 6
even if
minutes
it's
long.
Even if it's not one take,
It is. It was.
Okay.
It was
I was gonna
one
say
take.
if it's not, it's cut amazingly.
That's
But
one take.
it's just watching. It's like this is art.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or The Wire. Have you seen The Wire?
I have not watched The Wire.
That would be another one that if you like complicated things, definitely watch The Wire.
And also apparently they toned down the show because the real life stuff that happened in the show was too unbelievable.
Wait, in
like
what?
The Wire that it's based off of, all the true events and stuff. They had to tone down some of this stuff because nobody would believe it.
That Orange is the new
Orange is the
Black.
Yeah.
I was watching an interview with the author, and they were asking her questions like,
Isn't her
real?
name? Isn't her name Piper too?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
and they were like, well, what parts are real and what parts aren't, and she's like, here's a bunch of things that are in the book that aren't in the show, and they're like, well, that's so interesting. Why'd they leave it up? And she said, people wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe that happened in real life. They'd be like, that doesn't happen in the prison system.
Prison show?
Yeah,
really good.
I've gotten exactly halfway through that, and I keep meaning to finish it, and exactly halfway through season 2 of House of Cards, which I really need to finish. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyway, what I was gonna say was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a really good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I was.
I would say
gonna
that's not even just a good movie. That's not even a movie that fucking rules.
No, I wasn't saying
That's
it was.
a good-
I'm just saying since John said something about movies that you really have to pay attention to really enjoy them. That's what I would say is a good example of that.
There's a movie that's really outside of my sort of like philosophical idea of what a good movie is, but I love it, and it's Death Race.
I wanted to see that one. That looked like a movie that fucking rules.
Is that
the one with Statham?
Yeah, it's a remake.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's like, but it's just it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is that the one where it's like convicts have to race each other
Yeah.
to get their freedom? Because
And
that's
it's
not
like
cliche at all.
it really sucks you in right away because they get like the announcer from like UFC and stuff, and they do all these promos that are exactly like UFC promos, and it sucks you in, and like it feels like it's real. I'm like, I would watch this.
Kind of like how
Paul Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven does. He made RoboCop. He does that too. Like
And Starship Troopers.
At the very beginning of RoboCop and Starship Troopers commercials, like
Yep.
here's the world you're about to go into.
Yeah,
like,
and
it's
it's like
terrible.
As a car chase movie, like it's got this sort of like Mad Max quality to it. I mean, nothing is going to compare, to Mad Max and Road Warrior, but I'm just saying, like, for just like great car chases and great action and just a bizarre story. I mean, it's tons of fun.
Sounds to me like that's your movie that fucking rules.
Yep.
They made two
This has been-
two sequels with Luke Goss.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch those.
Kind of like the RoboCop sequels. I haven't watched them, and I don't want to.
I like Luke Goss, okay, but he, I'm not gonna say too much. I don't want people to fire. I don't know who worked on that movie that now works for DreamWorks. He's listen to this and fire me.
That is literally your boss.
Like, oh, you didn't like my movies, huh? You didn't like Death Race.
You didn't
2?
like my movies? Yeah, I listened to the THAC Podcast.
Yeah. I love it. It's great. Those guys are awesome. It's fantastic.
But you, I don't like.
Now they got your job. How about that?
How about that, smart guy?
Telling you what, you're gonna
And he has this really weird accent.
be a
that doesn't mean
filmmaker?
anything.
You're gonna wind up making my sandwich.
That's what you're gonna do. In fact, make me a sandwich right now, sandwich boy.
As a matter of fact,
do it.
I don't have
You always do that. You're always the last guy. You're like, I'm gonna be the guy with the last word, and then you run out of stuff to say.
You know what I think about that?
I love it. I think it's great.
I got one thing to say to that.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good way to end the podcast. Just I got one thing to say about that.
All right. I think
it's a little too late though.
Yep,
You already just steamrolled over that one.
I think it's about time to wrap things up.
I do think it is
for this episode of BNWYDSE. And before we leave, we should probably say just one thing. Our parting words for this episode should be.